Good morning, garden friends. It's Christy with greenlivingoffgrid.com, and today I'm out here in my zucchini garden, and I'm going to be talking to you about how to grow your zucchini and how to deal with hail damage that can occur when you live in an area like I do. At 7,500 feet here in Colorado, we get a lot of hail that comes through, usually in early spring. My first set of zucchinis that I had set up, actually half of them died in a hailstorm the first week that I planted my baby zucchinis. So those little seedlings can't seem to handle the hail. So I'm going to talk to you about what I do for hail and also what I do for watering, because here in Colorado we also get a lot of dry weather. And if you don't deep water, your zucchinis will develop a little bit of yellowing on the edges on the baby zucchinis, and they don't produce very well, kind of like these guys did. Like these zucchinis right here, I ended up picking them off. If you start to see yellow developing on your zucchinis, it's best to just go ahead and pick them off, because those zucchinis will not develop very well. So today I'm going to be talking to you about how to protect your zucchinis against hail damage and what you can do to water your zucchinis deeply. Now, one thing that I do now that I've had that experience with hail killing half of my seedlings, I purchased these little metal cages that you see here, and I'm able to use these, put a little bit of a screen netting on top, and they fully protect them from hail damage. If you just buy these when you have the little seedlings in the garden springing up, and then once they get a little bit bigger, I usually let them grow. But this year we had a late season hailstorm come through, first week of August, or it was the end of July, and they did quite a bit of damage to my leaves. I did not lose my plants, but I do have some pitting on my zucchinis, as you will see in the video. I also discovered this netting here that I use on my strawberry bed, and because I have this structure here that I use for watering, I actually use it as a support system. It works very well if you want to put a netting over top, and I had put this netting over top of my strawberry bed. It's about they're about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch size squares on this netting, and it totally protected my strawberries. I had zero hail damage, even with the late storms and everything seemed to do just fine with this netting. So that's another thing you can do when your zucchinis get larger than what you can put these cages in. You can put the netting on. I found it a little bit of a pain because weeding is difficult. You have to pull the netting off to weed every couple weeks. So it's kind of your call. If you do let them not have any kind of protection when they're larger, you won't lose your plants usually, but you might get some pitting on the zucchinis. And I do have some leaf damage, but overall my plants still did pretty well even with that late season hailstorm. So, all right, let's take a closer look at how I've set everything up. Well, here you can see my watering system that I've set up for my zucchinis. I have 3 sprayers connected up to this PVC watering pipe that I set right on top of my support structure that goes over top of my 3-foot by 8-foot beds. You can see they water really nicely on the system. I discovered that only 3 sprayers per watering grid is all I need to water 4 zucchini plants in my 3-foot by 8-foot bed. And another thing that I do to help maximize my time with watering is I connect my watering sprayers between each bed with a little hose, like you see here. Everything's connected with quick connect fittings, so it's very easy to winterize. All I have to do is disconnect the hoses, open up the watering lines. I have shut-off valves on the end of each of the watering lines, and I open up my sprayers and I just shake the whole line out, and it dries very easily. I don't have to blow these lines out. And because I don't tie my watering grids down, you can see they just set right on top of my support system. I do not run any water in the support system. I only run water in these actual watering pipes, as you see here. And because I have everything all loose like this, all I have to do is just take the hoses off, open up the sprayers and shake it out, and it will dry out just fine for winterizing. So that's what I do to winterize my system. And another thing it's important to know is that I've discovered with my well that I can only do 6 of these sprayers at a time. I can't run more than 6, so I run 2 of these watering grids at a time and only connect up to the watering source, so that I get a total of 6 sprayers going, and I give them about 15 minutes. That's about all they need to deeply water the bed. Now in this bed you can see I have some pretty good sized zucchinis growing, but they've gotten some hail damage. Here's the pitting I was talking about. It got pelted pretty good late summer. But as you can see, all you have to do really is just cut this off. You know, just cut around the little chunks, and it still makes pretty good zucchini for breads and different things that you can make with them. And something that I do let my zucchini get pretty large. I'm gonna go ahead and take this one out because it's getting pretty big, but I like to let them get large because they'll still stay pretty soft if you pick them before they get hard. Now if you leave this out here another week or two, it's probably going to get a little bit more tough inside, but usually the only thing that really gets tough with them getting large like this is the skin. So if you have kind of a tough skin zucchini, all you have to do is peel that, and you can still chunk the inside core. That'll be soft. If you let it sit on your counters though for a couple weeks, they could still get kind of hard, and the zucchini can get hard. So when they get this size, I definitely like to pull them out. I also like to pull them out when they're medium size. If I'm going to make a saute with zucchini, I might pull them out when they're only like about midway, halfway. That's a good size for sauteing zucchini. And the large ones with the tougher skin, like this one, they make really good zucchini fries, because you kind of like that little tougher skin when you chunk these down and you put them on the grill. Oh my goodness, they're really good. So, you know, even the large ones are really good for quite a few things, even if the skin gets a little tough. So now, when it's time to harvest, all I have to do really to get these out is to just take it like this, and I twist it like that, and it comes right out. So look at this. Very easy. So I'm going to probably core this one up and make some fries out of these, probably grill it, or make some casseroles and soups. This will be a good one for that. It's a little bit large for sauteing with the skin on. I'll probably peel it just because it's probably got a tough skin. But anyway, so here's my little zucchini garden. I have quite a few beds of zucchinis. It's one of our family favorites because we can grow so many zucchinis over the summer here. It's one of the hardiest plants that I have found at 7,500 feet. And because we only have a 4-month growing season, I needed something that will produce quickly. And zucchinis are one of the fastest producing plants that you can grow in a short growing season like we have. This little plant here was one of my plants I had to restart due to the hail damage early spring. Still got pelted late, but it's growing. We'll see if we can still get zucchinis off that. We only have another month of growing season, so hopefully it will develop some before the frost hits. And something that you want to watch for as your zucchinis are growing, you want to make sure that they're nice and green. You're not getting that yellowing like I talked about. Because if they're getting yellowing, they're not getting enough water. All of these are looking good. All the zucchinis are, I found that couple that were dry, but this one, as you can see, this little baby one here, it's still pretty green. I think it's going to develop okay. We'll keep an eye on it. It has a little possible drawing right here on the end. So keep an eye. As long as it stays green, I'll let it stay. If it yellows, I'm going to pull that off. Well, thanks for watching. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check us out at greenlivingoffgrid.com.